Egyptian Civilization, Middle and New Kingdom. During the Middle Kingdom, the Egyptians traded far and wide. Egyptian traders brought gold from the Nubian desert and cedar and cypress wood from Syria and Lebanon. The merchants did not use money, but instead bartered with other goods or with copper weights called debin. The Middle Kingdom ended with the conquest of Egypt by the Hyksos. These shepherd kings came on horse chariots, fought with superior weapons, and founded Dynasty 15. They adopted Egyptian titles and culture and ruled for 100 years. Contact with the Hyksos introduced new military skills and weapons into the Egyptian army. The Egyptians fought with bows and arrows and a sickle-shaped sword called a kepish. Theban princes of Dynasty 18 adopted these armaments to drive out the Hyksos and launch the new kingdom. This 500-year period is the most glorious era of ancient Egypt, in which it gained new territories and became the world's strongest power. The title Pharaoh, meaning Great House, was used for the first time for the rulers of the new kingdom. The great expansion of Egypt's empire was carried out by a single dynasty of pharaohs which lasted for nearly 250 years. Queen Hatshepsut was Egypt's first woman ruler and ruled for 20 years. Daughter of Thutmose I and wife-sister of Thutmose II, she ascended the throne on the death of her husband's brother. Queen Hatshepsut led armies into battle, sponsored public works and naval expeditions, and takes credit for Egypt's recovery. Thutmose III, who succeeded his stepmother aunt, Queen Hatshepsut, on the throne, is remembered as a great conqueror. For 20 years, he led an army into Asia every spring. He brought Palestine and Syria into the Egyptian Empire. His conquest brought Egypt to the peak of imperial power. Amenhotep IV, Akhenaton, is remembered for introducing religious reforms. Ancient Egyptians believed in many gods, but Amenhotep urged people to believe and worship only one deity, the sun god Aton. Amenhotep even changed his name to Akhenaton because of his belief in the sun god. His wife Nefertiti participated loyally in her husband's mission. Akhenaton moved his capital away from Thebes and lived in the new city, Akhenaton, with his wife and 6 daughters. Tutankhamen was the son-in-law of Akhenaton, who restored the worship of ancient gods and returned the capital to Thebes. Although Tutankhamen died at the age of 19, he is remembered for the vast treasures that were found in his tomb when it was discovered in 1922 AD. The tomb and the burial chambers of Tutankhamen contained the mummified body, gold coffins, jewelry, statues, furniture, weapons, a chariot, and many other objects. A mask of solid gold was placed over the head of the mummy. The mummified body of King Tutankhamen was protected by 3 elaborate coffins, one inside the other. The assembly of coffins, in turn, was encased in a carved stone, sarcophagus. Ramesses II was renowned as a warrior and builder. He fought the Battle of Kadesh against the Hittites. During his 67-year-long reign, he built huge statues and temples, including the Temple of Amon at Karnak. Ramesses II died in 1237 BC when he was 90 years old. He had 5 wives and more than 100 children. However, the eagle-like head of Ramesses II has been preserved for 3,000 years. Ramesses III was the last of the great pharaohs. After his death, the power of the crown steadily declined, with priests and nobles fighting to rule. Moreover, the loss of confidence that began with the collapse of the Old Kingdom and the insecurity that set in with the Hyksos invasion seemed to have killed the Egyptian spirit. By the end of Dynasty 20, the period of the New Kingdom had ended. Egypt was invaded many times thereafter by Babylonians, Assyrians, Persians, and finally, in 332 BC, by Alexander the Great of Macedonia in Greece. In the same year, Alexander founded the city of Alexandria in the Nile Delta. After the death of Alexander, one of his generals, Ptolemy, founded Egypt's last dynasty. During the Ptolemaic period, Alexandria was the capital of Egypt. The magnificent library and museum of Alexandria made it one of the greatest cultural centers of the ancient world. The period ended in 30 BC with the death of Cleopatra.